You only get to live life once, and it becomes terribly hard to endure when you have a rough start at it. Animals are no exceptions when it comes to experiencing terrible childhoods. In the wild, morals are practically non-existent, and when the only thing that matters is to kill or be killed, a baby animal is likely not to get the love it deserves. Today, we'll be talking about animals who have a terrible childhood. Grab a pair of tissues because this is going to get gruesome and painful quickly. In 2015 at Hawange National Park, a mother hippopotamus introduced her 2-day-old child to the herd. Much to her shock, the baby was killed right in front of her eyes by her own kind. She tried her best to save her poor little child, but failed. The child was crushed by the jaws of the herd members, and the remains of the body were eaten by an alligator. But why did it happen? And why do hippopotamus regularly practice infanticide? Scientists suggest that they do so to keep the population in check. Most herds don't go above 10 to 15 hippos, but that's only speculation. We don't know why they do it, since getting close to these animals is a heroic feat on its own. Cuckoo chicks might look cute and fluffy, but there's a side to them that's rather terrifying. The young chicks engage in siblicide, a practice that involves killing or pushing off a sibling off the nest. Scientists say they do so to spread their dominance and to leave less work for the parent to feed and take care. Quite interestingly, the parent sits back and watches as the siblings rip each other apart with pecking. This might seem cruel, but that's the way nature operates. If the cuckoos left you terrified, then the behavior of these storks might just traumatize you for life. In the world of the storks, it's perfectly normal to kill your own children for survival. It's pretty ironic when there are movies about storks delivering human babies to their mothers, but that aside, storks do this infanticide only when there's a need for it, especially when there are food shortages. There's even a term for it. It's called reduction of brood. Wild perches are a kind that's weird too. On the onset, the father may look like the ideal parent. It guards the baby perch eggs from predators, guards the territory, and keeps the eggs in optimal condition. But wait just 2 or 3 days after birth and you'll witness a complete 180 shift on its behavior. When all the fish are gone, the father preys upon its own children instead of protecting them. Just like the painting, Saturn devouring his son, the father perch gobbles up all the available eggs. Only a few survive to repeat the cycle of devouring when they grow up. Pandas are cute and lovable creatures that are also very likely to become extinct. Mostly because they don't engage in reproductive activity often, and also because of how they abandon their children to die. But it's a tragic tale. You see, in the case of birthing twins, a mother can only provide for one child at a time. A baby panda is 1/900th of the weight of the mother and is born blind. Therefore, it's terribly hard to provide warmth and feed milk to multiple children. Thankfully, humans come forward to provide care for the abandoned child. This panda is given warmth through machines and fed with formula milk and lives just as long as its sibling. Like pandas, dolphins are cute and lovable too, but these creatures have a darker side to them. In 2013, researchers managed to witness the birth of a bottlenose dolphin. Even though this species is the most common, this was the first time a live birth was witnessed. But that wasn't all. There was infanticide too. 2 male dolphins tried to drown the baby just 2 minutes after its birth. The mother was able to fend off the attackers, but this event is common amongst dolphins. Male dolphins commit infanticide for mating. If a female dolphin has a child to feed, she'll be unavailable for several years, but if the baby dies, she'll be ready to mate again after a few months. Yeah, that's ooh. Life of a young American alligator is hard. You're constantly under the threat of being eaten up by your own parents and relatives. Yeah, the American alligator from the swampy states of Texas and Florida practices cannibalism of their young. It's not like they do it on purpose. In the wilderness of swamps, food shortages are likely to occur. The healthy and adult alligator therefore prey upon the young. Researchers say that this is also done to keep population in check. Bears are known to be excellent parents, except the black bears. It's not like the mother black bear doesn't love her children, it's just that she doesn't love them equally. You see, a mother bear has the ability to assess whether a baby bear can survive in the wild or not. Thin and weak bears are considered a burden and are disposed of. Yeah, the mother abandons the child to fend for itself. In other words, leaves it to die. Bunnies are no exception when it comes to leaving their children to fend for themselves. Unlike the black bear, the mother rabbit leaves all of her children behind, only occasionally coming to feed them and cover the burrow. You see, it's hard for the mother to look after all the rabbits since rabbits have a lot of children. In a way, she's teaching the young to make do on their own. But things get really gory when a parent rabbit gets sick or short on protein. Rabbits may eat their youngins in that state, which is not cute for the likes of these lovable creatures. It's wrong to have children when you can't feed them. It's just poor parenting. But the Tasmanian Devils don't seem to care about that. At one single time, a mama devil can give birth to around 50 tiny devils. That's a lot. A lot more than can be fed and cared for. Out of these 50, only 4 survive, and the 4 are usually the ones to be born first. Life is hard for 46 out of 50 Tasmanian devil babies. These kids put up a tough fight with their powerful jaws, but die off quick. If you're the second child to a hooded grebe, then you're pretty damn unlucky. Hooded grebes are actually great parents. They stick around their children through thick and thin, though only for the firstborn. You see, a female grebe lays 2 eggs, but keeps only 1 to take care of since she has to breed more children, yet is unable to care for all. This is just a natural part of their life. What can we say? The life of Darwin frogs is pretty tragic. The tragedy starts exactly at birth. As soon as they're born, 40 on average at a time, they're abandoned by their mother, who goes off to find another partner to breed with. The baby eggs are left with the father, who cares for them for up to 3 months, and even gobbles some eggs to provide extra shelter for them. The eggs hatch into tadpoles, and Papa Frog vomits them out and leaves them to fend for themselves. It's just gross. If there's any animal on this list that has the most weird reason to kill its own children, it's probably this one. If you're the larva of a burrowing beetle, then it's best that you don't complain too often, because if you do, you'll be served as lunch for mommy. Burrowing beetle mothers are easily annoyed, and it's best as a young larva to not ask for much food. In the feeding process, the ones who get the food first survive, the rest become food. Poor little hamster babies don't deserve what happens to them at childhood. Most don't make it out alive since they get eaten up by their own mother. This cannibalism may occur because of lack of nutrition of the hamster mother after giving birth. She just had to eat her own to get nutrition, huh? Why are cute animals so cruel? Baby seals are the cutest, but quite unfortunately, 1/3 of them don't survive their first year at life. Their parents look after them for the first 12 days and abandon them for the rest of their lives, leaving them to groan and moan in loneliness. Just hearing them brings tears to our eyes. Well, those were all the animals on our list. Which one made you cry? Let us know in the comments. As always, we'll see you in the next video. Bye.